Hey, Torch Moms. We're back with another episode of the Torch Mom podcast, which aims to empower moms to live their lives to the fullest, embracing their desires and passions without guilt or judgment. Through open and honest conversations, we hope to create a space that encourages self exploration, self expression, and self acceptance for all mothers. Backstage, we have Trucker, a torch mom, taking on risk and crushing hate daily. Let's bring her up to get this torch talk started.
Hello.
Hey, Trucker, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for taking the time out this evening to chat with us a bit during this torch talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure, and I feel so honored that you guys would have me on the Torch Mom. This is awesome.
Well, we're going to go ahead and dive right into these questions and get this party started.
Okay.
What were the key steps or turning points that brought you to where you are today?
The key steps and the turning point that brought me to where I am today is my family, my husband and my children, um, and myself. Me wanting to be great in
Okay.
life, to have a great life. Yeah,
Understood. Understood. Okay. Can you share with us the story of how you became involved in the trucking industry alongside your husband?
absolutely. So basically, it started back in 2018 when the trucking industry piqued my interest. My husband had already been trucking for about 4 years, about 4.5 years. He had already had his foot in the door. And I basically was working in the medical field for a hospital running the mailroom. And me running the mailroom, I was there for like 2.5 years after I had graduated um, with the certificate to get into the hospitals. I was there for about 2.5 years and I had hit top pay and I was overworked. And I asked for a raise and they told me that they couldn't give me a raise. So I was like, well, I'm out of here. Um, I'm out of here, deuces. I know my worth. And they just
Yeah.
wouldn't give me what I was worth. So when they found out that I was serious about leaving, then they tried to give me a raise, but it wasn't still what I was asking for. Because the economy had changed at that point, and everything just changed, and everything was going up. Cost of living was going up. My children were getting older, coming into their teenage years, so it was very important for me to not only have a stable job. It was at that point it was important for me to have a stable career. And so I had started talking to my husband about it, and he really just didn't believe that I really, really wanted to do it. So I started actually doing research on it. And I came across a couple of female truck drivers in the YouTube community,
Okay.
and I started watching them. And so um, that just inspired me. You know what I mean? Just watching them um, trucking. It looked fun. It looked adventurous. On top of bringing in money, you're able to travel, get to see things
Hmm.
that you never think that you'd be able to see. And then also knowing the money that my husband was already providing to the family. If we could double that, why not? So
Hmm.
I was like, let's go. And my husband, I just was like, come on, I'm really serious about it. And he was like, one day he came home and was like, you really serious? And I'm like, yep. He was like, all right, all cash, boom, here go your money for school. Um, and then I enrolled in school, a local school. We were living in Sparks, Nevada at the time, Reno in Sparks, Nevada at the time. And I enrolled in a school there locally. And I went for about 2 weeks and I just wasn't comfortable. I just wasn't getting what I needed to get. Like the structure wasn't
Hmm.
there. And so I end up basically asking for my money back because I didn't get what I needed and decided to go off to school to Utah to Prime Inc. And my husband and I, we gathered a plan together, and he actually came with me to Utah and leased a
Mm.
truck through Prime while I was in school. And then I made it through school 26 days. It took me 26 days and graduated. They put me and my husband up, graduated, and I've been trucking ever since September 25th, 2018. So I just made my 5 years.
Right. What was that, a day ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, thank you.
You are most welcome. That is amazing. That is amazing. And the teamwork is super dope between you two. And I love the belief that he had in you and, making sure that it was something you really wanted to do. And he went all the way through with you and you stuck with it, even though you went to the other school that wasn't giving you what you needed. You still pushed through, made a change and crushed it.
I did because I really wanted. I knew that me watching all the other female truckers on the road with their husbands and even the single female truckers, like they were making it happen. You know what I mean? And I knew that if I had the will and the power, that I could make it. It did take me three
Mm-hmm.
times to pass the test.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pass the test right away. But it did take me on my third time, and when I did pass, I passed with flying colors on that third time. So that made me feel real good. Um, and yeah, I've been with my husband since day one of me having my CDLs. Like we've been trucking ever since.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. So, how do you manage the unique challenges that come with being on the road and balancing family life?
So the thing about it is, it was a little hard in the beginning. In the year, the first 2 years was really hard. Basically because our children at the time um were under 18, and our eldest daughter was she's my stepdaughter, but she's his biological daughter. And so
Okay.
she was living out in Reno as well, and she had her own family at the time. And so she pretty much was like, I got y'all back with the kids. um I think I said too on my YouTube channel that, you know, 4 days in, that didn't work. 4 days in, that didn't work. And now it was too late. I was already in Utah. We were already in Utah. So then we had to lean on friends to help with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
because we had our daughter together, our oldest together is at the time she was 16. We had a son that was 15 and our baby was 13. And so it was really hard because them being, in that stage of life, the adolescence, you know, lifestyle at the time, it was hard on them. us being away. We had never been apart like that,
Mm-hmm.
Even those 20 those 26 days were extremely hard. And so when our oldest daughter said that she had our back, we pretty much gave up our apartment and moved everything into storage. The kids went to stay with her. 4 days later, it didn't work out. So then the kids had to go stay with some friends. And that situation wasn't a necessarily good or healthy situation for my children because everybody lives differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wasn't feasible for my kids, the way that the people were living. So then another friend stepped in. And at that point, I'm a twin, and my twin was like, just send them to me to LA. But I didn't want to send my kids to LA because then that means changing schools and just, it was just too much. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get us another try for my other friend, which was a very, very good friend. It was just her and her daughter to let help me with my kids. And so she stepped up. It was cool. Um, first like month because I had to stay out there to do the training part of it after I got licensed. So we didn't come
Okay.
straight home after I got licensed. I mean, I got to go home to see the kids, but that was just like home time. Home time is typically like 3 days, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that situation with them staying with her wasn't too comfortable because she was having to like do things like take my kids way across town for school, and it was just a lot on her. And then she wanted to charge me a lot of money that I really didn't have because people automatically think, oh, you're a truck driver, you got a lot of money. No, that's not how that works. You got to work
Mm-hmm.
your way up, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
um we end up saying forget it, let's just get an apartment. So we got an apartment, and the apartment that we had gotten was like a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It was downtown Sparks. It was very secured. It had security there and cameras, and we would FaceTime. Like we pretty much got our regimen down. Our daughter was 16, but our oldest daughter was still in town, so we were safe. You know what I mean? Like we were good with that because the three younger kids, we have been blessed. Like it's crazy. God has blessed us with these kids because they
Mm-hmm.
never gave us an issue. Never, not one time in these last 5 years, never gave us an issue. And so they were secure. We would do the FaceTime thing. We got the ring cameras, security at the apartments. It was pretty cool. And they would just go to school, go to the library, go home, chill with their friends on the weekends, and then we'd be home. You know what I mean? We'll come home for a couple of
Mm-hmm.
days and then boom, back at it again. So it pretty much became a routine. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it pretty much became a routine with them. And, the more we worked, the more we were able to save money and do more with the kids. So the lifestyle just started changing and it just got easier. Um, it just got easier the older they got. So now, the 16-year-old at the time, she's 21. And then my other son, he's 20. And then our baby, he's 18 now. So now it's let's go. So
Yeah,
that's
again.
pretty much how it's really been for the last 2 years. Like we run when we want to run, you know.
Okay. Okay. Well, it definitely takes a village.
Hmm.
So that is definitely a thing, right? And you said you have a YouTube
Yes.
channel. What's your YouTube channel?
So the current YouTube channel is Trucker Dat Thrifts, and that's spelled with the D-D-A-T, Trucker Dat Thrifts. I have another YouTube channel that I don't really promote anymore, really honestly, but it's my weight loss journey.
Okay.
Um, because I had weight loss surgery like 12 years ago.
Okay.
And so that is just my name, Michelle Locke, 1975. So I have a lot of videos on there, and that's where the trucking stuff is too, I believe. Or it might be,
Okay.
or it might be on me and my husband's trucking YouTube, which is, I mean, we haven't used that in so long, but that would be under Lock Power Trucking.
Like Howard Trucking.
Lock Power, LOCKEPOWER Trucking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, listeners, if you got that information for those YouTube channels, please go check those out and make sure you like and subscribe.
Aw,
So
thank you.
you are welcome. You are welcome. So you have a twin. Oh my goodness. That's super
Yeah.
cool.
Yes. I'm a twin. Um, it's my brother. His name is Michael. He lives in Los
Okay.
Angeles, California. Yeah.
That is dope. That is dope. Okay, so you're a trucker and then you also have a boutique. What inspired you to
Yes.
start your own boutique and venture into the fashion and retail world?
Okay. So with the boutique, I've recently started the boutique. I made a year. June 13th is when I pretty much like made it public. Of last year, 2022.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
what inspired that was everybody went through something during the pandemic. And so I ended up losing my mom in 2020, um, June of 2020, and my mother-in-law in January of 2020. So they were like 5 months apart, and we were just losing family members like it was crazy, crazy. But the most impactful loss was my mom for me. And so I got really in a depressed state of mind. Um, During that time, I started drinking heavily. And I just wasn't me. You know what I mean? I just wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
And so my husband, when my mom died, my husband, he actually stopped drinking that August of 2020. But I was still drinking, and it got really bad to the point where I wouldn't even remember a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so um my life was trucking and drinking. That was it. So
Mm-hmm.
it got to the point where I got tired of getting called out. Like, Mom, you said this, and that. And so we gonna do it. Like, I did not say that, but really I did, but I wouldn't be remembering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My kids
Mm-hmm.
would call me out on it. My husband, he would call me out on it. So, um, and then health wise, it started affecting my health. So I decided just barely 10 months ago, um within the journey of me opening up my boutique, decided to stop drinking. I felt like at the time of me finding out that I wanted to do my boutique,
Mm-hmm.
that I was mourning the loss of my mom and I needed something for me. My husband, he also does credit repair, and then he's dealing with the trucking. And I just didn't have anything in addition to the trucking just for me. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um I've always been into fashion. I got invited to a live sale on Instagram during the time. It had to be about end of April. End of April, springtime sometime of 2022, I got invited to a live and I watched the live and I was buying stuff and I was like, "Oh wait, hold on. People really do this? Like this is this is crazy." Like um so you just show the clothes that you want to get rid of and people buy them? Like, really? So, um my mom left me so much. The best way I can describe this is that my mom, it was my mom and stepdad. They had a house, eight
Mhm.
bedroom house. Out of them eight bedrooms, my mom had five closets of clothes.
My goodness.
So she let it more than just clothes though. That was just, you know what I'm saying? Like a
Hmm.
lot of
Hmm.
stuff. And
Right.
so I was able to get a lot of things. I didn't get nearly as much as I should have, but I was able to get a lot of things and it was too much. It was just too much, you know. So, um after I watched the live, I was really intrigued by it, you know, and I felt like I was my house was like really cluttered. So I was like, man, we got to get rid of these clothes. Like, I'm gonna try this thing, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I decided, like, I called my homegirls that invited me to the live because they were doing it.
Hmm.
And that's why I came
Hmm.
to the live. And so I called them. I was like asking them a lot of questions and stuff. And I was like, man, I think I want to do this, you know? So they was like, all right, we got you, you know? So I kid you not. I was ready in a week. The day I talked to them, I ordered my racks. Look, I had everything. I ordered my mannequins. Like I was ready. I turned the front room into the whole boutique. Like I was like, I'm ready. You know, it was
Yes.
exciting. And I was getting such a rush and it just made me feel so good, but I was still drinking. So I decided after I was doing it for like a couple of months, like I was doing my lives, I was doing my first lives, I would be intoxicated.
Hmm. Hmm.
Intoxicated. So, and then I would be like slight errors, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't want people to think I don't have it together. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't need to
Hmm.
be drinking. What my thing was, I don't need to be drinking while I'm doing a live. You know what I mean? So that just it kind of pushed me into stop drinking. It just gave me a whole nother light, if you will, you know, that
Hmm.
shined on me.
Hmm.
So and then I was just very successful at it. And that's what kept me going. So it's been a year, you know, since June and
Hmm.
I enjoy it. I wasn't it's so many people that gave me so many thoughts on how to do this thing. And so
Hmm.
one of the bigger people on Instagram, she hosts like a lot of people on her lives. And she used to always say, yeah, we got a trucker in here, trucker that she's a trucker that thrifts. And it just lit a spark in my mind, like, oh my God, that's me. Like, that's my name. Like, it
Hmm.
fits me. You know what I'm saying? So from there, man, I just was like, I'm about to run with this. So I went and got my name trademark, Trucker That Thrifts, like, have my LLC, like everything, you know? So it just gives me life. It gives me life. It makes me feel like, especially in the beginning, when I was selling a lot of my mom things, it made me feel like she was there with me. Like she's proud of me. She's looking out like, yeah, girl, that's what I left that stuff there for. Get it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah. I love it though. I love it. Now I even do live sales from the actual truck, you know, to put a little twist on it.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen that. And that's how I ended up running into you. I saw you on Instagram, trucker underscore that DAT underscore thrifts. And I saw you on there and you had so much energy and the pieces that you were showing were amazing. I love them.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I kept watching. That's how I ended up starting to buy in in the thrifting community. I saw a couple of people, and then it went further from there. But you were very
Wow.
inspiring, and your page, you have a lot of inspiration on there. So you let people know if I can do it, so can you. Keep on pushing.
Absolutely.
I just love it. I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one thing that I do truly believe in. You know what I mean? Because like I said in the beginning, it was others that inspired me. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
by watching them, I felt like if they can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
I tried to put that out there. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not specifically speaking about trucking, but
Mhm.
what I'm saying is whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. You know what I mean? I really believe that even as a child, because I was told as a child growing up, you can be anything you want to be. And I believe that. Like, I always believed in that. My imagination runs wild, still as an adult. Um, my imagination is wild. So
Mhm.
I make sure I put it out there, because I want people to believe in themselves. I'm very, very, very transparent. I'm transparent about my health. I'm transparent about my trucking. I'm transparent about my boutique. Like, I'm as transparent as a transparent person can be, you know. Um, yeah, I just believe it. If I can do it, you can do it. I always say it in all my posts.
Yep.
I believe that.
Yep. Yep. What does Torch Mom mean to you?
Man, you know what? I was checking you guys out. I was checking you guys out. I was like, this is something big right here. This is fantastic. Um,
Thank
for
you.
you, you're welcome. For you to speak to different moms from different walks of life, because I've listened to a couple of your podcasts as well. That I do that while I'm driving. Um, and for you to have these different moms on here, different walks of life, the variety of people that you've spoken with, I think it's amazing. I think it's an amazing job that you're doing. It definitely is inspiring. Um, you never know what this does for people. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing amazing, amazing work. You got you.
Mhm.
This is amazing. I'm so honored to be on here. You're giving us moms a voice. You're allowing us to use your platform to tell our story. That's so powerful. Um, you never know who is listening. You never know who's watching. Um, and it can change their life. That's how much so that I love what you're doing. You're changing lives. It's pretty dope.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. With 5 years of experience in the trucking industry, what advice would you give to other women who are interested in pursuing a similar career path or starting their own business in an unconventional field?
The advice I would give, so cliche. Remember, if I could do it, you could do it. Okay, let's start there.
Yes.
But um take your time. Take your time. Um if trucking is something that you want to do, I say do it. I definitely say do it. Because it can change your life. I have said it worldwide as best as I can. I've been on CBS News, where Earl Barnett, Gail King. I went on to the Kelly Clarkson show, telling my story from rags to riches. It
Hmm.
has changed my life. It has changed my life. So much so that I'm confident in my walk. I'm confident in my swag. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
I do have my down days, right? Because I'm human. But what I
Hmm.
mean by
Hmm.
that is that I know that if there's a bill that's due, I know I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I'm not stressing on bills. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? All you gotta do is get up and go to work. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the money's there. The money's there. Um, and just go for it. Just go for it. If it's something you really want to do, go for it. The boutique. Um, if someone wants to start a boutique, go for it. And there's so many people out there that's willing to just give the knowledge away on how to go about getting started, how to go about doing things. You know, the resources are there. One thing I do
Hmm.
want to add to the trucking part is a lot of people don't know is that you can go to your state. I didn't do it, but my husband did. You can go to your state, to the resource center in your state, and ask if they have programs to pay for your trucking school. And you can go to trucking school for free. You ain't got to pay for nothing out of your
Wow.
pocket. I think it's the workforce that you
Okay.
would go through to get, to get that. So um, it's so many resources out here now in the world today. All you have to do is utilize your resources, and you can do anything you want to do. Anything you want to do.
Dropping gems. Dropping gems. Grab them, y'all. Grab them. They're shining. Okay. So, as a woman in the traditionally male dominated industry, have you faced any particular obstacles or biases?
Man, have I? Yes, yes, yes. But it's okay. You know what I mean? Like you get used to it. The cool thing about my situations, though, I've always had my husband there to help and protect me. Um,
Hmm.
I take my hat off to those female truckers that are out there trucking solo. Like I take my hats off to them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's a dangerous, dangerous job. Um,
Hmm.
and the world has gotten even worse. In these last 5 years since I've been trucking, it's gotten even worse out there. You know, it's always been there, right? But it's gotten even worse. So
Hmm.
I've at one I think I was like a year in, and we were on a real quick story. We were on a job. We had just dropped our load. It was out in Pennsylvania. My husband had to use the restroom. I had to use the restroom. So we was like, all right, cool. We're gonna take our break at this truck stop. We went to a truck stop, and I got done before him. So I'm out there looking like at the Bibles because they had like this. When you go on a truck stop, they have a lot of little cute stuff to look at, books and Bibles and keychains. And so I was looking at one of those um, little things by the door, and this
Hmm.
man came and touched my shoulder and tried to pull me out the front door. I started screaming to the top of my lungs. It was awesome though because the ladies that were working there, At the service desk, they came
Mhm.
out running. Then the man, they chasing him, down or whatever. He ran, and that was like the most scariest thing that's ever happened to me. Um,
Yeah.
Other than that, everything else has just been
Mm.
pretty much normal, everyday wear and tear. Somebody trying to look at you, talk to you, type thing. Um,
Yeah.
it can be
Yeah.
scary though, So I take my hat off to those solo female truckers, and I know many of them. They out there doing it, and yeah, they doing it.
Yeah.
Safety first. That's what the truck drivers say all the
Safety
time.
first. Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Man, I apologize that you had to experience that, but I'm so thankful for those women that were there that did something.
Yeah,
So many things go on in the
yeah,
world where people are just watching and they don't move to do something that can actually help the situation. They're recording
yep,
or, posting and not doing something about it right then and there when they
right,
had the chance.
right, yeah. I wasn't giving up that easy though. I was not giving up without a fight. I
Yep.
can tell you
You
that.
daggone right. You daggone right. Hmm. So we often speak about the importance of self-care. How do you prioritize your well-being amidst your busy schedule as an entrepreneur, wife, and mother?
So I pretty much get my self care when I get home. Like that's a treat for me, right? Like I look forward to my self care when I get home. Um, on the truck, um, so I'm girly girly. Let's start there, right? So I'm girly girly, but on the truck, I know I'm there to work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you see me out on the
Mm-hmm.
road, I might not be looking like trucker that thrifts. You know what I mean? Like I might be looking like, oh, she
Right.
a truck driver. You know what I mean? So I make it a point that when I get home, I'm trying to I get dressed every day when I'm home. You know what I'm saying? Me and my husband laugh about this all the
Mm-hmm.
time, but we get to shower and bath daily. We take full advantage of that when we're
Okay.
home. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a big thing because people don't do it even though we have. So this is the thing, like out on the road, you get showers as long as you're getting fuel, right? So you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
take as
Mm-hmm.
many showers as you can um while you're out on the road, but we may have two loads back to back where we can't just stop and get a shower. You know what I'm saying? So then you got to
Okay.
do your wash ups in the truck, you got to warm up the. I said I was gonna do a video on this too, but I was like, I don't know, I don't know. But you got to warm the water up in the microwave. You got to pour it in the bucket. It's just so much. You know what I'm saying? So when I get home, I make sure that Michelle gets Michelle in to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
I get dressed,
Mm-hmm.
I go get my nails done, we go get pedicures. I make sure my hair, is together. I do all of my appointments while I'm at home. Like I schedule everything that needs to be done. So it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like a routine, if you will, at this point.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and like even with me and my husband, we go and sometimes we come home, we'll go do the drips, the hydration drips. That's part of our self care. Um, yeah, so we take full advantage of home time.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, as someone who's a part of a dynamic duo with your husband, how do you maintain a healthy work life balance and ensure that personal and professional boundaries are respected?
So my husband was my trainer.
Hmm.
He didn't give me no slack. He was not playing. He was like, "You want to be a truck driver? Okay, then let's do this. We gonna get to the money. Let's really get to the money."
Mm-hmm.
There's no slacking. You know what I'm saying? Like there was like it was real big pressure on me. He did not let go just because I was his wife. You know what I mean? Like no,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Michelle, you behind this big machine. You know what I mean? This is not you can't play with this. You know,
Yeah.
you not only put uh your life in jeopardy, but you could put other people's lives in jeopardy. So you got to be serious about this thing here.
Mm-hmm.
You could be
Mm-hmm.
carrying 80,000 pounds, at a time. You know what I mean? And you just can't stop. You know what I mean? So he was not playing. And I had to respect that. You know what I mean? Because I wanted it. I wanted to be successful. My biggest thing was backing the truck up. But a lot of people struggle with that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so that was like one of my biggest things, and we teamwork make the dream work. Basically, if I'm backing up and it's a tight squeeze, listen,
Mm-hmm.
yo, you got to get up, you got to get out, because I'm backing and I need your help. Vice versa. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? The teamwork. And so we make it work. Like, but he'll piss me off. He know to go back there to that back, close that curtain. He gone to sleep. Cause when he sleep, I'm driving. When I'm sleep, he driving. I do days, he do nights.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so you got to get your rest in order to drive them 600 miles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so when it's time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. You get enough, you get
Yep.
enough, as team drivers, you get enough free time on your hand to have fun. But when it's time to work, you got to have that mindset. Business is business is before that curtain. When that curtain
Mm-hmm.
is closed and
Mm-hmm.
we back behind that curtain, we can have all the fun we want. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. It's time to, it's time to jam. Ain't no plan.
Yeah.
So it's really about your mindset. Um, a lot of people say, "How you work with your husband?" Well, we be married 25 years in March, so we're like literally used
Yes.
to each other, best friends. You know what I mean? And we know when not to go there. You know what I mean? Like we know each other. I know when to shut up. He know when to shut
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know, and we know that business means business. Straight up. If because ain't nobody else gonna get it for us. We both ain't got no mothers no more. You know what I mean? His father gone. My father is incapable, so
Yeah.
it's like our kids depend on us. That we want our children to have the best life, right? Like you want your
Mm-hmm.
kids
Mm-hmm.
to have the best life possible. In order for them to have that, we are their providers. So we keep all of that in mind. And God first. That's it.
Yep. Yep. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. Really, that's some more gems being dropped, y'all. That's some more gems being dropped. It's all about that teamwork. When you're in a relationship, it works everything out. And that
Yeah.
separation when you guys are together is major, and you're still there for each other, even though it gets serious at times. So that's
Yes,
super dope
ma'am.
that you guys have that.
And to piggyback off of your question about self care, so that's another thing. Like I do my self care with just me. He do his self care with just him, but we'll do some self care together. So it's just about knowing each other and kind of just respecting each other's spaces.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Well, now it's time for the spicy side of Torch Talk. Before we
Nice.
dive into these thought provoking questions about relationships and intimacy, I want to remind everyone that this podcast aims to foster open and honest conversations. Our guest today has kindly agreed to discuss these intimate topics, and we appreciate their willingness to share their insights. Please note that discussing sensitive subjects requires mutual respect and consent, so we've created a comfortable and safe space for our conversation. If at any point, trucker, you feel uncomfortable, remember that you have the option to skip questions or choose not to answer. With that said, let's explore these important aspects of personal growth and relationships together. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, for busy parents like yourself, which strategies or tips do you have for carving out quality time and fostering intimacy with your partner amidst the demands of work and family responsibilities?
Basically, anytime we can get it in, we gonna get it in. I mean, anytime we gonna anytime that's available, we gonna get it in. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, we're young, we're very active. Um, and I mean, it's a part of what we love, so we got we didn't just drop the load and it's shower time. Okay, cool. Let's go get our showers. Like, let's,
Okay.
or he may be on his break overnight, and y- listen, we gonna get it in. If we got whenever we can get it in, we gonna get it in. There's, I mean, we don't
I
have,
love
like,
it.
we don't,
Make it
you know what I
happen
mean? Like,
when
we
you
don't, yeah,
can. Yes.
exactly. Make it happen when you can. You know what I mean? Like, the kids is grown now, so they don't be here all the time.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
me, him, and the dog that's here most of the time. So um we get it in when we can. It's no scheduling, none of that. We go with the flow.
Okay. That's right. Hmm. That's my wife's famous line, go with the flow. Hmm.
Go with the flow.
So,
What you waiting for?
okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience, or is there anyone you'd like to give flowers to before we close out?
Yes, so I want to give my flowers to you for sure. I remember when you had called me and I wasn't able to answer the phone. And then you was like, just call me when you got time. I wanted to give you your flowers. And I never got a chance to call you back. My mind, girl. So forgive me on that. But I'm
No
glad we
worries.
got to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that you are amazing. I would love, because I know you have a brick and mortar, right?
Yes.
I would love to come in, come up there to your brick and mortar. Um, and that's on the list. So I want to give you your flowers because you're doing a thing. I'm proud of you. This is amazing. Like I said, and before, you're giving moms a chance to show what they're doing, and you just never know who's listening. You never know who you're helping. Like, so I want to give you your flowers. I think you're a great, great, one, awesome person.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am cheesing over here from ear to ear. So, yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You giving us your time and energy was amazing. The opportunity to share space with you was I'm thankful for that, especially with you having such a busy, lifestyle, and you're doing your thing. I've seen so many of your successes, and I'm proud of you as well. You keep on pushing it, and you let me know if you can do it, so can I.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes my day. Seriously, like just to hear that it's one person, at least one person that I can inspire to, do something about it. You know what I mean? About themselves,
Yep.
about their life, to get out there, do what you want to do, you doing your thing. That makes me so happy. That brings me joy.
Yes. Negativity is forbidden and energy is power. Didn't have a backstage pass to check out the live stream? It'll be available for viewing on our YouTube channel, the Torch Mom Podcast. So be sure to subscribe, like, and share. If you have experiences or questions to share, send us an email to the torchmompodcast at gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at the Torch Mom Podcast. Remember, what you desire, you already have. We love you. Stay torch.